Hey guys, it's Sara Oehler and Kristen Fagan from softluxcompany.com. We will be live in about 5 minutes. We just wanted to give a little bit of time for everybody at the Great Bead Extravaganza to get on here and find us and make sure that we are streaming properly. So thank you for joining us today, and just get cozy and comfy, and we have a lot of great stuff to show you today. We'll be with you right at the top of the hour, 1 p.m. So we have a great BOGO deal going on our website. If you buy our new quad, which we'll be showing you today in the project that I will be creating, this is Sara, you can get a really great little bead mix with some Tiara cast pieces mixed in. It's our spring fling mix, and you get it for free if you buy the quad. It will automatically just be added to your shopping cart while supplies last. We do have a limited number of them, and it isn't something that we'll be restocking. So you can get this deal while it's available at softluxcompany.com. So good to see all of you. I see all your comments rolling in. We'll be getting started right at the top of the hour, right on time. We just wanted to give you guys some time to settle in, get comfy, get your beading supplies out. If you're making along with Kristen and you bought the kit, get that out and ready to go. She'll have her kit ready to go too. And we've only got an hour, so we're going to cover a lot of information very quickly. So you might need a cup of coffee. Maybe go turn your coffee pot on.
I probably should have had a cup of coffee.
Oh, Kristen, I had 2 cups of coffee this morning.
Oh my goodness. Hey everybody, I'm so excited to see you all. There's so many of you joining us already. This is Kristen here, Softlex Company. Looking forward to doing our make along kit today. So if you happen to purchase one ahead of time, make sure to get that out along with a pair of cutters and crimping pliers. And maybe a pair of chain nose pliers too, and you'll be all set.
So the big news is I haven't finished my design. I'm going to finish it live. And because that's how I roll.
You're so brave.
I know. Well, I don't think it's brave. I think it's something that I've heard a lot of the presenters talking about today, is not to be scared to fail. And if it fails live on the Great Bead Extravaganza, I will still have learned something, and so will everyone else who's joined us. And it's okay. It's okay to fail. It's okay to make mistakes. And in fact, in creativity, sometimes the mistakes you make are the most biggest learning lessons that you can have in making something. And they can be turned into something really wonderful. So I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to maybe fail live, and it'll be okay.
I love that. I do that in lots of things in my creative life. You just got to jump in and give it a go.
Yeah. I agree. So I'm going to go ahead and click us on here live if you're ready to go, Kristen.
Ready.
All right, here we come. Hey, guys. So good to see you, Miss Kristen.
I know. So good to see you too, Miss Sara, and all of you out there in Beady Land.
So Kristen, Fagan, and I'm Sara Oehler. We're from SoftFlexCompany.com, and we're both longtime workers for SoftFlex Company. And we also do all sorts of other creative things in our spare time, as you can see in the background of Kristen's picture there. She is a painter as well as a maker of all things, I would say. There are very few things I haven't seen Kristen make. And
not enough time in the day to do all of the fun creative things.
I don't know how you do it. You must like really make like every night and every weekend, because it seems like you're always coming up with something new.
That's what I do in my spare time for sure. And my work time. I create all day long.
That's wonderful. And I also am a fairly creative person. I like to sew. I like to do some scrapbooking. I have 3 small children. So lately it's just been constant arts and crafts. I've been really inspired recently by Candy Cooper's Collage Club, which you can find on Saturday mornings. I think Kristen's doing something kind of similar on Sundays too, right, Kristen?
I do. I have an art group called Discover Your Creative Magic, and I go live twice a month. We pick a theme. I do a theme for the month, and we do 2 videos. One is more in your sketchbook and just sort of talking about the theme, getting going. And then the second one is like a paint along. So that's been a lot of fun. And I did see that you did Candy's Collage Club with the kids, and that's going to be awesome. I just love it.
Yeah, we're starting art journals. I don't know if we'll follow along with Candy. I've been watching some of them, so maybe we'll take some of those ideas and morph them into what's good for kids. But I was really, really inspired. I'm inspired by all of the presenters at the Great Bead Extravaganza, and we're just so pleased that we get to be in such great company with so many really, really creative people. So we've got some good stuff to show you today. We launched new items yesterday on the website, softflexcompany.com, and we went full on spring. So we're going to show you some of those new items. Kristen has a make-along kit. So some of you out there will have the kit in hand and be able to make along with her. You can see that on her screen up there in the top right-hand corner. And we do have some of those kits still available, and then some of the bead strands still available. So you'll be able to find those on our website. So I think I'm going to flash to my screen and start here. And just a couple more things that I wanted to point out as we're getting started. And maybe, Kristen, you can mute yourself because I'm hearing a lot of feedback on your end. We have got 2 good deals going on this weekend. We have got a discount, tier level discount. So when you're over $49, you get 10% off. Over $69, you get 15% off. Over $99, you get 20% off at softflexcompany.com. So that's a great way to find some savings. We also do free shipping on orders in the US over $49. And then we've got our brand new quad, which I'm going to show you right now. If you were to buy these 4 spools separately, it would cost you $31.56. But because we have bundled it into a quad, we also do this with our trios. You get a little bit of a discount for buying all 4 together. And that's what this price is here. And then special for the Bead Extravaganza Spring Fling, we are doing a Spring Fling mix for free when you buy the quad. So all of these things will automatically happen in your shopping cart on the website. Just put it in your shopping cart, put the quad in, this mix will pop in for free. And it's a mixture of beautiful check glass beads in the matching colors. And then it has some great tiara cast components mixed in. I'm especially excited about this button. I'll probably be using this next week on my regular program on Wednesdays. You can find it on our Facebook page or our YouTube channel. I'll probably be using this button as a closure of some sort, maybe next week, maybe the following week, but definitely sometime this month, because I'm really, really in love with it. So here's our quad for spring. We looked at the Pantone colors and we took a little artistic liberty, but we matched to the best of our ability to our Softflex colors. So we've got our pink tourmaline, which I believe is the raspberry sorbet. We've got our amethyst orchid color, and we've got our cerulean is the Pantone color. And then this one is our, of course, illuminating yellow, which is one of the colors of the year. So a quad is 4 10-foot spools of 019 medium Softflex beading wire, and you get a little bit in each of the colors. So you get 40 feet, 10 feet in each color. And I thought it would be fun today to take those colors. Oh, and this is one more cool thing that we've added in. You can find this. You can find this when you order your quad. You will get one of these. It's an inspiration card that Kristen created. I don't know if we mentioned at the top, but Kristen is our graphic designer, as well as the lovely Damien, who is here too, posting in the comments. Our two graphic designers wear multiple hats and do multiple things. So she made this great little inspiration card using those colors, which I know you guys are gonna love when you get it with your quad. So I thought it would be fun to take the 4 colors and braid them using the Kumi Hemo disc so that you could see all 4 colors together. And that allows you to see how those colors can intermix, almost like a paint.
They're just so pretty.
They're really pretty.
Really, really cool together.
I know. Yeah, they're really, really lovely. So I did 13 inches because I want to make this into a wraparound bracelet that I can also then connect some beads to make it into a necklace. So I've already done this part, but I'm going to start it out with you. And then we'll move to this part second when I'm ready to put it all together. So I'm just going to set this over here, grab a new fresh Kumi Hemo disc. I already took all of my wire out for this original one because I wasn't sure how long I would make it. I took my whole 10-foot spool, unspooled it, and cut the wire in half. So it's about 5 feet for each length. And I think I probably could have wrapped that around my 6-inch wrist 3 times if I kept going for the whole length. But I am going to cut it a little bit shorter than that. I'm just going to wrap it twice because I'm doing just 13 inches. So you can kind of do a little math to see how much a 10-foot spool will get you on the Kumi Hemo disc using that information.
So you're saying you have the 4 different spools. You cut 5-inch strands of each, and then you needed
5 foot strands.
5 foot, excuse me.
Yeah, I cut them in half.
And you need 8 strands total. So
right.
Okay.
Right. So then you get 2 5-foot strands in each color from the 4 spools. And on a Kumi Hemo disc, you need 8 strands. So we'll look a little bit closer as I unwrap this little wire loop that I made. I pre-cut it because I thought that would make it easier. But then, of course, it all wants to kind of stick together.
I have a question here from Sharon. She is saying, Sara, could you use all 4 with a knitting spool if we don't have a Kumi Hemo disc?
Yeah, it would be a different project. On a knitting spool, it's going to weave the wire in a different way, so it's going to look different. But you definitely could use this wire on a knitting spool. We have lots of projects on our YouTube channel showing you how to do that. So I'm using a much shorter length for demonstration purposes this time. This is probably closer to 2 feet, but that was just to make it kind of easy for me to be able to show you guys what I am up to. I've got a 3 by 3 millimeter crimp tube here, so it's a very large crimp tube. We carry them on our website, I think, in more than one metal tone. And what's nice is it will fit a lot of strands of soft flex. So I'm going to get all my strands in there. And then what I did on my initial project was I took just one of each color and took it through my clasp, because 8 seemed like a lot. But just going down to 1 didn't seem like it looked right either. So I decided to take 1 in each color. So I split the 2 in half and then thread it through my magnet clasp. You can find these on the website in a couple different metal tones as well. And then take those 4 strands and sink them back into my crimp tube, kind of like you would if you were just stringing a design. It's going to be a little bit of a tight fit, but you can get those in there and then kind of cinch this up to your clasp like so. Make sure you still have all your strands in there, all 8 strands. I see I want to pull these out just a little bit more if I can, so that I don't lose any of my strands out of the bottom. They all look like they're secure in there, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. There they go. There's just one in the middle that I want to make sure. Pull them out a little bit more. Okay. Oh, and there it goes. Knew that one was going to be a problem, so let me get them in there for sure. Since I'm having a little tricky time with this, Kristen, why don't we flip over to you and I will fidget with this and get this all set. And then we can do the crimping after your project. Does that sound good? And you're muted still, I think. So you'll have to unmute yourself.
I was telling you, yes, that sounded good. And then I realized I was talking to no one. Hey, everybody. Kristen here. So I am going to talk to you a little bit about the make-along kit that we have for the Great Bead Extravaganza. So this is the purple and silver dagger option. And then we're going to put together the turquoise and the rondelle option today. And they're the same layout and setup. The only difference is these have the daggers and this one's got the rondelles. So this kit is using our new check glass flat diamond beads. We do now have actually some of the purple and the turquoise available in single strands that you can purchase at softflexcompany.com. We also have it in this green color that we're calling chrysoprase, and this red color, red coral, and this pink, which is what I used when I made this bracelet a few weeks ago on one of our tutorials using the pink opal color there. So in addition to those beads, we are using a bunch of stuff from Tiara Cast. We are using these little rings, which we sell separately as well in all these different metal tones. And these will be for the earrings. So if you got the kit, you would have gotten the silver or the gold, depending on your color. And then we also have them in copper, the antique brass, and the gunmetal blackened. We'll be using a ring in the medium size. That was our small for the earrings. And we're using a ring in the medium size for the necklace. I just wanted to show you, we've got these 3 different sizes of the rings available. So we've got the small, the medium, and the large at softflexcompany.com. We're not using the large for the kit though, so I'll put that one aside for now. And then these are the rondelle beads. Again, you can find them in 4 metal tones, the gold, the silver, the brass, and the copper. And these are a really nice metal bead. I have someone asking, what is the difference between a rondelle and a seed bead? So a rondelle bead is usually like a squat kind of shaped bead, and it could be in metal, it can be in gemstones, it could be in all sorts of different materials, glass, but seed beads are generally just done in glass, and they're much smaller. All right, so these are the daggers that we've got, and we've got them in I've just got the gold, the brass, and the silver here, but we also have a copper color of those as well. So now that I just showed with you some of the supplies that are in the kit, we've got the amethyst softflex beading wire came with our purple, and the antique brass came with the turquoise, and that's the one I'm going to be using with you guys today. So when you cut open your beads, you're just going to put 2 aside for your earrings. You'll have 2 ear wires in the kit. You'll also have a lobster claw clasp that we'll be using. And for tools, we've got a pair of magical crimping pliers. Any crimping pliers will do, but we love the magical crimpers, so I'm going to show you how to use that one. A pair of flush cutters, and then possibly a pair of chain nose pliers as well. So my necklace is about 8.5 inches. We are going to cut 2 12-inch strands for the braided portion on each side, and 1 10-inch strand for the beaded part in the center. And then I just calculated how much space the rings and the clasp make up. If you want to change, I would probably say you can make your braided a little bit longer or shorter if you want to make any adjustments to that size. So I got here, so I'm going to push the purple kind of out of my way a little bit, but leave it here so you can see it if you're working with the purple. Brenda is asking, what is the color on the edge of the turquoise beads? They are called travertine when they do check glass like this. It's kind of got a just a little texture on the sides. Really cool. They're more like a brown or green, not really black. Okay, so I've got one side of my bracelet already started. This is the twisted side here, and it's connected to the medium ring. Then I cut another piece of wire. This is the Softflex antique brass wire. This is a 10-inch piece of beading wire. Just going to string that onto the ring. Add my crimp tube. You will need to be using 2x2 crimp tubes if you're working with the magical crimping plier especially. It's the only one that works with that particular tool. And if you would have gotten the kit, you get all of that included, of course. There are still some kits available. I know that we're running lower on the turquoise color than we are on the purple, so you'll want to pick that up pretty soon. Once they're gone, they are gone. And you do get a little bit of a discount. You'll see the retail price on the website, and then when you add it to your cart, you'll actually get a 10% discount if you are a retail buyer off that kit price. So now I've got my wire crimped to that medium ring, and I'm just going to string on 3 of these flat diamonds. All the colors of the flat diamonds are really pretty, and I actually tested this out yesterday. I was wearing this design, and I always like to road test my jewelry to see how it feels and how comfortable it is. And it was just so nice to wear. And I've been wearing this bracelet for weeks because these beads are just so comfortable laying on your skin. All right, so our pattern is 3 diamonds and then a rondelle or dagger, depending on which one you have. Then another flat diamond, then another rondelle or dagger, one more flat diamond, another rondelle, and that's basically your focal, your center right there. So then we're going to add 3 more. Donna says the beads are beautiful. Did you get some, Donna? Did you get some already? I know we introduced them just a little while ago, so some of you may have actually even picked up some of them already. Okay, so there's our pattern: 3 rondelle, diamond, rondelle, diamond, rondelle, and then 3 more, and then we're going to put on another crimp and crimp it to the other side of the medium ring.
Laura was asking if you're going to show how to make a flower out of the beads that you had in that tape on your table.
I know. You know what? When I was sitting here getting my setup started, I just realized that they fit so perfectly in that flower shape. And I had said to Sara, oh, that would have been really fun to have made a flower. So maybe that'll be in an upcoming free spirit beading video. I have some colors here I haven't worked with yet, so we'll have to make a flower.
You can catch Kristen on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page every Monday. At what time, Kristen?
I'm now at 2 p.m. Pacific time. So I will not be there tomorrow. No, tomorrow's Sunday. I will not be there this Monday because I'm off this particular Monday, but all the other Mondays you can find me. So now you go through, you take your wire around your ring and go back into your crimp, and then using your magical crimping pliers, you're just going to center that crimp right in the middle of the pliers. These have 1 notch in the center, and that is the key to making this beautiful bead, is to give it right in the center there. Give it a nice squeeze, like a firm handshake. It'll pinch your 4 corners. Then you'll turn it 90 degrees, squeeze it again, and then I like to roll it in that center and pump it a few more times around. Now, if it rolls out of that center at any point, you may end up flattening it a little bit. So just be very cautious about making sure, see how it's sitting? It's not up here, it's not down here, sitting right in the center there.
Susan, I will be working with the regular crimping pliers later in my demonstration, so I can talk a little bit about the difference between that and the magical crimpers to answer your question. So no, we saw it and we will get to it.
Oh, awesome. Thank you, Sara. That worked out nicely that you'll be using the other crimpers. All right, so to do the twisted part, which is the back end of the necklace, I am just going to cut a 12-inch strand here. We are going to thread it through the ring and then add our crimp. Again, it's another 2x2 crimp tube. I'm using the Softlex crimp tubes. This is the gold-filled metal tone. If you're not familiar with our crimp tubes, they are double the wall thickness of most on the market. Really excellent quality. And if you ever struggled with crimps, I would highly suggest giving our crimps a try. So a lot of times it's the actual crimp itself that may be failing on you. All right, so you just crimp that there, and then we are going to simply twist. So I'm just folding over, left over right, and it's creating this little twisted pattern. You could also just leave one strand of soft flex going up the back. We do that quite often too. But this just gives a little extra texture. It also gives it just a little extra support. And it's also fun to do this with multiple colors. We're just doing this with one color today. But if you have two different color strands of soft flex, that is really a great way to do it too.
Love how you twist it. It's so neat.
Thank you. Thanks. Super quick, really easy. Now I'm just going to grab my crimp tube and put both strands down that crimp. I'm only going to put one strand onto my clasp. And the reason being is that using a 2x2 crimp tube, you're going to get 3 strands of that medium soft flex into that crimp tube. So you only want one going through your clasp and then back down into the crimp. I saw something flash. Did you?
Yeah, I was just flashing some customer comments about our crimp tubes and how much they love them. One person said they've never had one fail. They really are wonderful.
They are fantastic. I always love to tell this story that one time I ran out of crimp tubes years ago, and I worked for Softflex for 18 years. And previous to that, I worked at a bead store where they only sold Softflex and Softflex crimps as well. So I really had no idea how good I had it until I ran out to the store to pick up some crimps because I was like, oh, I'll just grab some. And boy, it was like an aha moment. I was like, wow, this is why people struggle. These crimps are awful. They just were falling apart super easily without me really doing anything to them, or they just weren't holding. And never again, I will never run out and grab crimps. I will wait for my shipment for Softflex Company, which come really quickly, by the way.
The sad part is that people always blame themselves in those cases. They think they're doing it wrong. They're crimping poorly. They forget to notice that it may actually be that crimp quality that's the problem.
Totally. So there is our necklace. What I did on the other side that was already braided up or twisted up is I just created a little loop. Instead of attaching the clasp on this end, you just create a little loop, and then you can use that to connect your necklace. So I have an earring to do, but I don't know if you want to switch back to you first, Sara, and then come back to me.
Sure. Yeah, that'd be great. I'm all ready over here.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, let me switch our screens around. So it's really important when you're doing this that you make sure all of your wires are inside of that crimp tube. You don't want one to pop out at an inconvenient moment. So I've got all 4 of my wires running back into the crimp tube, and then I've got 4 more that are just peeking out because I've got 8 total strands. I'm going to use my Mighty crimping pliers, and this is the same as the regular crimping pliers, but larger. And so this will give you kind of an idea of what this turns out to look like versus the magical crimpers that Kristen was using. And I may also use the magical crimpers to add beads here in a minute too. So it'll give you a little bit of a version of both. So this crimping plier has 2 holes. It's got one that's round and one with a tooth. I'm going to use the tooth first. And since I have a magnetic clasp here, I'm going to kind of hold that magnetic clasp away from my crimping pliers, because if I don't, it's going to just attach to them because they're metal. And then I'm going to come in with that tooth and I'm going to compress to create a little divot into that tooth or into that crimp tube. This is again a 3x3 millimeter crimp tube, so it is quite large and has a lot of wires running through it. So I want to really compress that down and then go around it a few times, rounding it all in and tightening it down on the nylon coating of the wire, because I don't want any of these wires to slide out. And then I can come in with my cutters, and I usually try to do 1 strand at a time to trim it, because you want to be really careful you don't accidentally trim something that you meant to keep. I've seen that happen an awful lot of times. When you get in a hurry, you can accidentally trim a strand that you meant to keep. And of course, it's always good to hold on to those strands when you're trimming them, or they'll go right in your eyes. Or wear your safety goggles, because these are little bits of stainless steel. I'm even going to come in and get this really tiny little strand there that's hanging out the bottom. All right, there we go. So I've got my connection onto my clasp, and now I'm going to set up my Kumihimo disc. So what I did was I gathered my colors together. So I'm going to kind of look at what colors are together here. I'm going to do pink at the top. So the Kumihimo disc has a little round dot, and I'm going to put my wires in the same color on either side of that dot. And I'm going to do that on all 4 sides of my disc. And I may have to move my camera so that this can hang free so you guys can see the full disc more easily. So just let me get it set up, and then maybe we'll move off. I'm going to put my tanzanite to this side at the 24. This is a really thick Kumihimo disc. There are wimpier boards. I suggest the thick one if you're working with Softlex, because it is stainless steel wire. It can be challenging on the thinner discs. It'll kind of rip through them a little bit. So let me just move my board. Or maybe I can do it from here. Let's see how this will go. Okay, so when I do Kumihimo, and there's different ways of doing it, when I do it, I take my bottom left, this wire here, and I come to the top left. I take my top right, and I come to the bottom right. And I turn the board, so you see your 16 here, I turn it counterclockwise. So if this was 6 o'clock, I make 9 o'clock 6 o'clock. And we have lots of great tutorials on Kumihimo in depth on our YouTube channel. I'm just going to go over the basics of getting going. And if you need further information, we can post links as well. So I took my bottom left to the top left, my top right to the bottom right, and then I turn. One thing that's important is you want to get some really good tension going. So use about the same tension every time you're pulling the wires, and that will ensure that your braids really nice. You can put a weight on this if you want to. I've never been one to work with a weight, but I know a lot of people really like doing the weights. But I tend to just go for it. And one thing I wanted to show you, if you have to set it down and come back to it, you always look for the wire that's pulling over the top and over the top here to see where you left off. So you straighten here and then turn and keep going. And as you keep going, it's going to create this really beautiful braid. This is something I do while I'm just watching TV, hanging out with my family, and on a car trip. I mean, it's really pretty easy to do. If you want to add beads, you can string the beads on the wire first, and you can feed them into the cording as you're making it. You want to kind of do it in a pattern, like anything else. And as you keep going, this is what ends up happening. It creates this really lovely braid that we are now going to use to make a design. So let me set this aside and we'll pick this up. I already trimmed off my extra wire on the edges here. So I did that while Kristen was talking. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off the board, and I'm going to do the second side similar to the first. And so I need my clasp from over here. Let me get that freed up.
It looks so good. Those colors together are just delicious.
I've been so excited about how our website looks just like since yesterday with all the new products and the bright colors. I almost want to just go to the website and like look at it because it looks so good. It really looks so good. It's just nice to see bright colors after winter, right? I know a lot of you, I live in California, so we already have a lot of blooming going on. But I grew up in Montana, and I know all too well how by the end of winter, we're just kind of over the doom and gloom. And we're ready for some color. So I'm just pulling this off of my disc. I'm kind of pinching it with my finger so the braid doesn't come undone. And then I can take, so I braided 13 inches because I wanted to wrap around my wrist twice because I'm thinking I might make this a convertible option. We'll see. Now I'm going to take all of these. And if you need a third hand, you can always grab a bead stopper to kind of hold on to that end. They're super handy. Then I can take all of my wires and string it into my 3x3 millimeter quint tube on the other side. So this is going to go very similar to the first side, and I'm going to work on this, getting it connected to my magnet clasp on the other side. And then we'll come back and check in with me after Kristen makes her earrings.
Sounds good. We did have a question. Someone asked, can you do macrame on here? It's really best for kumihimo, and we do have a macrame board at softflexcompany.com that I would suggest doing macrame on instead.
Yep. 100% agree.
Oh, let me figure out how I get myself into...
Here you go.
There we go. Back into position. All right, so now we're going to make our matching earrings. So if you got the gold and the turquoise or the purple and the silver, they are slightly different. I have the ring at the top here for the gold, and I have the ring at the bottom for the purple. And that's just because the ear wires are slightly different in the kits. And so the ring fit in the top for the gold ear wire, but it didn't for the purple. So I just flipped it and did it the opposite way. So we're gonna use a little bit of Softflex beading wire. This is just a little 4-inch cut. What do I want to do first? I want to add it to the ring first. So string the ring on and then add your crimp to create your loop. And then just pull one longer, leaving one strand shorter. We'll go ahead and crimp there. One of the other things I love about using the magical crimping pliers is that it does make a nice finished little bead, so it just becomes part of your design. Oh, and I did this one the opposite way. Okay, so if you have the purple, you would start this way using your ring at the bottom, and then you would create your second loop at the top and attach it to your ear wire. If you are using and you want to flip it the other way, we would just flip it around this way, and you've got the ring at the top, and then we'll put the other crimp at the bottom, and it acts kind of like a little head pin. Thanks, Becky. She says, I love your ring. It looks antique looking. It is made with the Softflex craft wire in 20 gauge, the vintage bronze color. And then one of these sweet rose beads came from one of our monthly mixes from our kits. So then you'll just add another crimp tube, create another loop at this end. And this time you want to get your crimp all the way down to your bead. I actually did a video a few weeks ago of that one too. I'm wearing all my video jewelry. Well, most of my jewelry ends up being video jewelry, doesn't it? And then I'm going to crimp this side. Trim off the end. And I will just show you before I cut that either direction. So if you want the ring at the bottom, then you would just attach to your ear wire, opening that loop, and you've got your little ring on the bottom there on that one. If you want your ring on the top, if it fits into your ear wire, then you attach the ring up here instead. Use your chain nose pliers to open and close. And then you just use your flush cutters at the bottom here and just trim off that loop. So you're leaving the crimp, trimming off the loop, and now you've got it with the ring at the top. All set, super quick, really easy, really fun. And I just love the richness of the turquoise and the gold. And I really love just the lightness of this opaly one. These are called like an opalescent kind of check glass. So they have a really neat look to them. Super sweet. Alice.
Oh, so that looks really great, Kristen. And I like that opal color too. We have it in a purple and a pink color, and they're both really, really pretty.
Alice says she likes to make non-matching earrings because life is too short for matching earrings. It's her mantra. I love that. I just had to highlight that. I thought that was really fun. And you could totally do that with that design. Do the ring at the top on one and the ring at the bottom on the other. Have a fun mismatch.
So I finished crimping the ends. If you don't like the crimps like this, there's lots of options. I'm going to leave mine. I don't mind it. But if it bothers you, you can patina paint them. There's lots of different vintage patina paints and lots of colors. I pulled this out just in case it did bother me and I wanted to patina paint them, but I kind of like how it offsets the clasp a little bit. But that is an option. I did a project just last week where I braided some soft flex and I used a big crimp and then I wrapped it in some craft wire, just kind of a loose handmade wrap. That's another option. Or you can do a crimp cover with the 3x3 crimp tube. You would use a 4mm crimp cover. I like that it's a tubular shape that kind of mirrors the braided soft flex. So I'm fine with it the way it is, and I'm going to leave it. So this is 13 inches on my almost 6-inch wrist, and I'm going to have to bring this closer to snap it closed, of course. And it fits twice around really well. So you can see there it is as a bracelet. If you wanted to just wear it as a bracelet, we could add a little charm to it. We could add some beads. I think I'll add one of these little charms that we have in the mix that you get with the quad. So there's this cute little flower charm from Tiara Cast. And I was thinking I could just take a jump ring, open it to the side, grab my little charm. You could totally do something with beads, like with a head pin if you wanted to. And I'm just wrapping inside of the soft flex there. I think that's kind of a nice place to add it. And then last, I'm going to convert it into a necklace. So there it is with the charm. I'm going to convert it into a necklace using some of the beads from the mix. So I pre-strung them because I knew we were going to be kind of short on time. I have beads from the mix, but I also mixed in these 2-hole beads that are also new on our website, 2-hole check glass beads. They come in 4 different colors. I'm using the bright pink color, and that allowed me to use 2 strands of our purple soft flex and work the check beads in together. So I made my own little pattern, and now I'm going to attach it to a magnet clasp as well. And then the idea is that those magnets, once they find their mate on each side, should attach, and it would become a necklace, or I can then unattach it and make it a bracelet. I love things that have multiple purposes. I'm really big on that. So I'm going to take 2 of my wires from my 2-strand here, but I'm only going to take 1 of those wires back into my 2x2 millimeter soft flex crimp tube. And I'm just going to bring that down. I'm attaching to my clasp there. Bring it down and find a nice spot where it's going to be flexible and move and feel good and comfortable. I don't have to worry about it too much on the first side because the second side is what will create the tension. But the first side's a little bit easier. I've got both wires running through that crimp tube once, and then 1 wire running back through it twice to create that little link. So again, I'm going to have to kind of hold on to my clasp and get my magical crimping pliers, which Kristen showed you how to do just a little bit ago. Center your crimp tube inside, and you should get what looks like a little 4-corner ravioli. Everybody loves that I say it. It's my saying, right? Little 4-corner ravioli. And then I'm going to turn it on its side and squish in those 4 corners. And go around and around, tightening it down, creating a little metal bead that's going to look really nice, but also be really strong and give me a nice connection. Then I can slide in with my cutters and trim off those extra wires. Again, being really mindful of what you're trimming. And then I can just do the same thing on the opposite side. It's going to look a little funny because it's small, but my idea is that if I use this clasp here, it should match up to this clasp here when I open them both up. We'll see if I'm right or not. So here's where the tension is going to matter. You want to make sure that this top strand has just a little slight more tension than the bottom strand. I'm trying to see which one I'm pulling on here. And that it feels good so that when it's laying on your skin, it's going to lay nice and flat. I've got my crimp tube already on here. I'm going to come in and clasp to the other side. So string 1 wire. Of course, soft flex is steel too, so using a magnetic clasp on soft flex can also be a challenge. It's like you need a 4th hand, a 3rd or 4th hand all the time, but you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And this is where I'm just going to make sure everything's laying right. Always check it all out before you crimp. You can't go back once you've crimped. So you want to make sure it all looks good. Make sure your little loops on the 2 sides, you can see they aren't quite matching. So I'm going to make this loop just a little bit bigger till I can get it to look a little bit more like the other side so that they look right sitting next to each other. And that's all looking good. So I'm going to go ahead and crimp it down again with the magical crimping pliers.
I'm so excited to see this. I was curious how it was all going to come together as a convertible design when you were mentioning it.
Me too. I didn't do the best job on this crimp. It's a little too far from my face, but I think I can go back and fix it later. Okay, so I'm going to trim off. One of the most challenging things, probably for all of us that are doing presentations in video now, is you have to work so far from your face for things to show up on the camera. And it can be really a challenge. So grab that magnetic clasp again so it doesn't grab onto your cutters and trim. All right. Let's see if it all works out or not. It's the moment. So we got to see which side matches. That's the opposing side. There we go. There we go. So now we have turned it into a little necklace. And what's great is you can do a lot of different bead strands. You could do one in pink, and you could do one in yellow. You could do one in the tanzanite color, and you can swap them out. And that will make it look completely different every time, which is really fun.
I love it. It's super cool.
Thanks. I'm so glad it worked.
It totally worked.
You never know.
Sara. Yeah.
I'm built for one of those design challenge shows like Chopped. That's what I'm meant to do in my life.
Right.
I'm not meant to plan ahead. I'm meant to do it in the moment. I try to prepare a little bit, but I do prefer to work in the moment. It's very hard for me to do something over and over again.
Yeah, I feel that. I get like, okay, enough of that. Let's do something else.
Yeah. So today I used the 2021 Spring Summer quad in my design. And I used a lot of the beads are from the Free Spring Fling mix. And so.
Very cute. Somebody is asking if you can model it. I don't know if you happen to have a neck piece nearby at all or anything, but
I don't. I will take a picture of it on though, and I will post it.
Awesome.
I will also post alternatives on our Instagram page. So if you're not following our Instagram page, make sure you go over and follow. I'm doing reels there just about every Wednesday. That's content for just Instagram. And I'm getting a little feedback from you, Kristen, so maybe mute unless you're talking. And then one last thing I wanted to mention was 10% off orders over $49, 15% off orders over $69, and 20% off orders over $99 at softflexcompany.com. Make sure you take advantage of the BOGO while you're doing that. And I will take pictures, and so will Kristen. We'll post pictures on the Instagram and in our Facebook group, our Softflex Facebook group. One last thing, Kristen, we have to mention, and I think we're getting short on time here, but let's scoot back to our mode here. Hi, everybody. One last thing we have to mention, we just hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, and it's mostly been Kristen on YouTube. So she's done a really great job bringing really amazing content there. Now she is in both places on Mondays, and I'm in both places on Wednesdays. And so we're hoping to see that page really grow. So we're doing a 10,000 subscriber giveaway, and all you have to do is subscribe to our YouTube channel and then go to the 10,000 subscriber video, which should be near the top, and leave a comment there. And Kristen will be choosing 10 winners. And she just showed you some of the items. Maybe she can pop on and talk a little bit about it.
So I've got these little beady bags I put together. There's 10 of them so that we can have 10 winners to celebrate our 10,000 subscribers. They each come with a 10-foot spool of Softflex, some beads, and some findings, some crimps, and some ear wires. They are all different. They're just, I went through my stash of stuff that I had that haven't got a chance to use and now we no longer have on the site. So there's a ton of stuff in there that I just went and I picked matching Softlex to go with whatever beads that you've got. They're all different, really fun. So yeah, go join me over on the Facebook page, the YouTube channel. And the first video, I think, and it says right in the beginning, 10K subscribers. It's the chakra bracelet that I did. So click on that one, comment on there. I will be choosing the winners on Tuesday. So you have until Monday of this week here, and then I'll choose the winners on Tuesday. I'll jump on and do a quick announcement. I'll do a live stream on our Facebook and YouTube channel to let you guys know who won.
Thank you guys for subscribing there. Also, don't forget the giveaway for the Bead Extravaganza. It's in the announcement section in the Facebook group. And that's also very important. Make sure you go. All you have to do is put in your email. So it's really easy to enter to win. There's 3 huge prizes. So don't miss out on that. I have a couple designs using those diamonds that Kristen just used that I'm going to show you. And then we'll flip over to Kristen and she'll show some things that she's made on the Kumihimo. And then we got to head out because I think Mr. Nilay Patel is up next, right? Okay, so let me show you real fast since we've got a few minutes left. I made these fun earrings on Instagram Reels using those cute little diamond beads. I think they come in 5 different colors. So if you order them separately, they come in red. And they also come in chartreuse. Ooh, and I should mention, we have a chrysoprase. Oh, are we calling them chrysoprase?
They've been chrysoprase, yeah, I think.
Oh, well, it's a chartreuse color that goes well with our chrysoprase beading wire. So I made these for Joyful Beading, which you can find in our Softlex Facebook group. Look for that. We've been doing daily challenges through the month of March on the weekdays. Let's see what's coming up. We're coming up on March 22nd. So on Monday, we're going to start doing all the colors of the quad through the week, and then Ultimate Gray to end the week. And then we've got more challenges the following week. Every day you enter to win a $10 credit with Softlex Company. I have 3 more designs I'll show you super fast, and then we'll flip over to Kristen. I made this great necklace with a Green Girl Studios charm. She'll be coming up tomorrow, and some beautiful red beads. And then I made 2 stretch bracelets. You can find this project on either our YouTube or our Facebook using that chrysoprase colored diamond bead. Kristen, what do you have to show us? And then we'll close out for Nilay.
All right, I have some Kumihimo that I did. So this is 2 ideas that I have done on the round Kumihimo. This is a bracelet using 2 of the Softlex colors and these really fun triangle little seed beads there. And then just finished it off with some wire wrap at the back. And I have this necklace. This one was actually done with some cathedral beads we had a while back. And then I used a brown, I think it was our topaz, butterscotch topaz wire with black seed beads all the way up the back. So in this case, I added beads to it the whole way, and then finished with our hammered cones from Tierra Cast in the antique copper color. I love that design. And then I've done some on the square. So we also have a square Kumihimo. And the difference with that is you're going to get a flat braid. So I do a lot of bracelets with the square. This is one of them, using the Mermaid Trios, which I think is now out of stock, no longer carrying. And then we have this one here, which was done with the bone and some check glass beads down the center on the square one. Yeah, so that's what I've got.
Really pretty designs.
really, really fun.
Quite lovely. So you can kumi himo with Softflex. You can braid with Softflex. You can twist Softflex. You can make connectors and jump rings. You can knit with it. You can crochet with it. You can do tons of different techniques with Softflex beading wire. And I hope that we were a little bit of an inspiration for you to try using it in a different way, rather than just straight stringing, which it's wonderful for as well.
Yes, we do a lot of straight stringing as well, but it's fun to see all the other inspiring things that you can do with it.
Absolutely. And I think it just shows how flexible and strong the wire is, that you can use it in that way, and it still holds really well. It's very, it's a really wonderful wire. So I hope you'll try it out. You can find us at softflexcompany.com. And I will just flash our website here at the end, along with that information about that BOGO deal. Buy the quad, get the spring fling mix free. And because the broadcast isn't starting soon, it's ending. All right, so it's so nice to be with you guys today. Thank you for spending a little bit of time with Kristen and I today. We appreciate it. I know all the other presenters out there appreciate your time and energy as well. And we are turning it over to one of our favorite people, right? He's next on the list.
He is, yes.
Vinay Patel from Silver Silk and More. And we know he is going to wow you, possibly with the tank top, possibly with the cowboy hat, maybe a onesie.
Who knows
what he could be wearing today.
Yeah, but yes, we got to go so he can get on. Love you guys. Great to see you all, and have a wonderful rest of your week. Great Bead Extravaganza.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.